tonight, we're going to start with adding and subtracting our integers, okay? Now, I want to remind you again, what are integers? Integers are whole numbers. So remember, integers fall under whole numbers, and they're not just negative numbers, guys. Don't get tricked. Integers are negative numbers. They're also the number 0, and they're positive numbers, okay? They don't include fractions and they don't include decimals. So when we're talking integers, we normally talk about negative numbers, the number 0, and numbers above 0, all right? But they are whole numbers. Okay, so let's move on from there. The number line helps us to add and subtract positive and negative numbers. So last year we relied a lot on the number line, especially for those of you who had schools where you weren't allowed to use calculators, okay? Some of your schools were really strict. They didn't let you use calculators, and so you had to rely a lot on number lines. So when we had when we added numbers, we always move to the right. For examples, okay? We had 3 plus 6 equals 9. So we all know that 3 plus 6 equals 9. I get that. I know 3 plus 6 equals 9. But if we had to take it to a number line, all right, there's my number line. We drew our dot on the number 3, okay? And if I was teaching you last year, I would have said to you, if you draw your dot on the number 3, I'm going to go take my magic pen here, okay? You draw your dot on the number 3, and then you go and you use some jumpers. So plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that takes you to the number 9. So 3 plus 6 gives you 9. Okay, nice and easy, straight out the gates, easy. 3 plus 6 gives you 9. Right. The difference came in then when we started with our negative numbers last year. So we had -4, okay? -4 plus 7 gives you 3. So when we go do that on a number line, we drew our dot on the -4. So there he was over there, -4. And then we go do our jumpers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we see that lands us at 3. Okay, so for some people, that's a little bit tricky, and I get that, okay? Integers can be a little bit tricky sometimes, and so number lines make your life a lot easier. This year, yes, we have our calculators, and our calculators really help us in getting those to be a lot easier. All right, I have some hands here, so let's go. Bree, what's up?
And everyone.
What's up?
Ma'am, like you said, for example 2, right? Yes, we are allowed to use calculators, but I'd like to know how you're able to get the answer without using a number line, or if we're not allowed to use calculators and the number is positive, how do you make sure that
You get it right? It's a very
yes,
good question, Bree. Okay, so remember in our first lesson together this year, we spoke about how you can shuffle the sum around a little bit. Remember we spoke about that, shuffling the sum around a little bit?
yes,
All right, okay. So if I want to shuffle the sum around a little bit, I'm going to go back to my normal pen. Let's shuffle the sum around a little bit. Do you agree that this 7 is always going to stay as a positive 7, hey?
yes,
Okay, so I'm going to keep him as 7. And this 4, he's not just 4. What is he? He's negative 4.
-4.
So I'm going to shuffle him and I'm going to make him -4 or -4. And what's 7 minus 4, Bree?
3.
3. Ah, is that not easier to do than saying -4 plus 7?
It is easier.
Ah, can you see? So you're allowed to shuffle the sum around a little bit. That is completely allowed, because technically, isn't there like a little positive here in front of the 7 anyway?
There is.
Yeah, there we go. So does that make it a bit easier?
Yes, it does.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. No problem, Bree. All right. Amishle. Hi, Amishle.
Hello.
What's up, my love?
So ma'am, at school we started like doing multiplying and dividing.
We're going to do some tonight. Yeah,
So like my teacher told us that a negative times a negative is a positive,
that
and
is
a
correct.
positive is a positive, and
That's
then
correct.
times a positive is a negative.
That's
So
correct.
now, ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
in one of the questions in the activity that we did, there was a few questions that had like, for example, there was -5 plus,
Yeah,
then in brackets, wait, sorry, -5 times, then in brackets, it said -3
yeah,
times bracket -2. And so now we were told that we had to do it in steps first.
yeah. So, Amishle, can I answer that question for you? Because we're going to get to that, okay? So can I help you with that question at the end of class? And I promise you, I will help you with that question. I promise, promise, promise.
Okay.
Because
Yes,
I
ma'am.
got you. I got you because we're going to do that question tonight, okay? I promise.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. No problem. All right, guys, I'm more than willing. We are going to do those questions tonight because we have time tonight, which is really cool. So if you do have any questions from class, keep them. We're going to do them. Keep them, keep them, keep them. Okay, so that's number lines, guys. We've done number lines. We've practiced number lines. Number lines are cool, but you know what? We're in grade 8 now, and we don't need number lines anymore. So we're going to see how can we do these sums now without number lines. Like Bree asked me just now, ma'am, how do we do this without a number line? Like, what if we don't have a number line and we need to do a sum without a number line? And like Amishle was saying now as well, like a positive and a positive and a negative and a negative, ma'am, this is what they're teaching us now. No number lines, we've moved on. Okay, let's go and have a look at what those kind of sums look like. So let's move on from number lines a little bit. Okay. What we're talking about here in those circumstances is we're talking about what's called the inverse method. Or you guys would have heard me say it last year. If you had me as a teacher last year, I call it the magic brackets. Okay, that's what I call it. I call it the magic brackets. That's just my vibe for it. I like calling it the magic bracket, but the fancy name for it is called the inverse method. Okay, so what the inverse method means, or the magic bracket, is as follows. It looks like this. It goes, if you have signs that are the same next to each other. So when you see this next to each other, so when you see a positive sign times by, that's what that dot means, a positive sign. Okay, so when you have signs that are positive and they're right next to each other, okay, you're always going to be left with a positive. All right, so positive, positive, you left with a positive, okay? When you have let's change colors, a negative sign and a negative sign, and they're next to each other. Now, guys, negative and a negative, do you agree they're the same sign? Negative, negative, same sign, same sign. You're going to be left with, thank you, Lorena, in the chat, you're going to be left with a positive. All right? When you've got a positive sign and a negative sign, you're going to be left with a negative. Okay, so if the signs are different, okay, then you're going to be left with a negative. All right. And finally, if you've got a negative and it's next to a positive sign, you're going to be left with a negative. So, all right, Lorena, magic brackets is back. That's correct. All right. Itandile, it wasn't hard. Your maths book is hard. This is tricky, not hard, okay? Not hard. Don't tell yourself maths is hard. It's challenging, all right? Okay. Amishle is asking me, ma'am, are we going to do the additive inverse? Oh, I love these fancy maths words. Itandile, yes, we can look at the additive inverse as well. We'll probably look at it in the next lesson though, but we'll look at additive inverse. Yes, definitely. Okay. All right, so this is what's known as the inverse method, the magic bracket method, okay? So when we've got signs and they're next to each other, if the signs are the same, if I've got a plus and a plus, I'm left with a plus. A minus and a minus, I'm left with a plus. A plus and a minus, minus. A minus and a plus, minus. All right, ma'am, what are you talking about? Let's go have a look at some examples. Anyone want to take a screenshot? This is a good time. Guys, you don't think this is coming back again later? It's coming back again later. Ma'am, what if we have a minus, and a plus? Then your teachers press the funny button on the screen, guys, because that's not possible. All right. Nkuli, I see your hands raised. So let's see. Hi, Nkuli.
Hi, ma'am. I wanted to ask a question.
Of course.
What happens if we get like, okay, so I know it's kind of a weird question, but what happens if I get like a positive, like let's say I have a bracket and it's a negative 2 inside of it, and then it said the -3 next to it.
Let's go have a look at the examples, Nkuli, and then let's do some examples, and then if you still have that question, we can have a look, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, cool. All right, Itandile, I'm not sure what you mean by ma'am, why is it shorter? But that's it. This is, Itandile, that's the rule. That's it. That's all it is. I promise. Promise, promise. If I did it for you last year, maybe I threw in some examples next to it, and maybe you still have your rules from last year, and that's cool. Keep them, okay? All right. Let's go have a look at some examples now. So, in the first row there's 3 examples. So let's start with, I've got +5 minus, and in brackets, -7. I'm going to go through in another page here for myself. So I had +5 minus -7, guys. So number 1, +5 minus -7. Okay. +5 minus -7. All right. Okay. I told you, I call this my magic bracket, hey? My magic bracket or my magic circle or my magic whatever. Here we go. Do you agree that I've got 2 signs that are right next to each other here? Minus a negative. Minus negative. Can't do that. All right. So what do I go and do? I'm going to go draw a circle around them. A magic circle or a magic bracket. Now, in that circle, what have I got? I've got a negative and a negative. What happens when I've got a negative and a negative? Talk to me, Tandile. What happens if I've got a negative and a negative? What does it become?
Ma'am, when you have a negative times a negative, because the bracket that's near the negative after -5 is when in the rules that you gave us, negative times negative is equal to a positive. So it's going to be +5 plus 7.
Good. So I'm going to say 5 plus 7. Thanks, Tandile. And 5 plus 7 gives me?
13.
Tandile. 12. It's been a long week. It's okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's been a long week. No problem. Okay, it gives me 12. All right. So let's go have a look at another one. All right. Oh, dear. Let's have a look at another one, guys. So my next one was -3 minus -3. Okay. So number two. What was it now? Now I can't remember. God, it took me so long to get there. It was -3 minus -3, guys. -3 minus -3. Right. Who's helping me out? Lorona. Hi, Lorona.
Hello.
Right, Lorona, talk to me. How are you, first of all?
Good. And you,
Good.
ma'am?
I'm good, thanks. Right, Lorona, talk to me. What am I doing? What am I seeing?
The 2 negatives next to each other in the middle will cancel each other out, and the 3 on the right will become a positive.
Good. So what about this other -3, Lorona? Am I going to touch that one that's on this side? What about this one here? This here?
No,
No, I'm not going to touch them, hey? We're not going to touch him. He's not going to have any effect. Good. So you said to me, these are going to cancel each other out. This is going to become a positive, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I'm going to have what? -3?
Plus 3.
All right. Now, Lorona, while we're here, let's just talk about this, okay? -3 and +3. Do you know what the fancy word for -3 and +3 are? Do you know what they are of each other? Have you heard?
Opposites.
They're opposites. Good. Well done. They are opposites. I completely agree with you. And do you know that fancy word in math that's called the additive inverse? Have you heard of that before?
No.
No. Okay, so some teachers, they like to use this fancy word. They call it the additive inverse, which in like normal terms is called opposite. Exactly. -3 is the opposite of +3, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I right? And when you add -3 and +3, what does it give you?
0.
0. So that's all that additive inverse actually means. It means that when you take -3 and you add +3 to it, you left with 0, hey?
So yes, ma'am. So
Okay. Yeah,
so ma'am, when you add any negative number with any positive number and it gives you 0, that's additive inverse.
that's right. So if I had to say to you, what is the additive inverse of 7?
-7 plus
That's
7.
that's right. It'll be -7. Good. And if I had to say to you, what's the additive inverse of -100?
100.
100. That's it. Good. It's just the opposite. Hey, well done. Nice. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, guys. So additive inverse is like the opposite. That's it. Okay. Next one. +5 minus +3. So I'm going to bring number 3 down here. +5 minus +3 equals, right. Who is helping me out here? I haven't heard from Azande tonight. Hi, Azande. Azande, are you there? Azande? Okay, maybe Azande's having a problem with their sound. Let's go, Mateo. Hi, Mateo.
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
Finding you.
I'm good. So, ma'am, what you're going to do is you're just going to say 5 minus 3, which equals
it.
2.
Good. 5
Yes, ma'am.
minus 3, which equals 2. Well done, Mateo. Nice and easy, hey?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, guys. Are these easy? Yeah, these ones are easy, hey? Azande, that's fine. Don't worry. Guys, let me tell you, Azande was the first one in class today. They were here 5 minutes early even. So Azande, it's okay if your sound doesn't work, all right? Okay, I'm going to give you 3 to try by yourself so we can practice this. And then for the first time ever in our grade 8 class, we're going to have a brain break after this. So go and try those 3 for me. Okay, we're going to do the answers and then we're going to have a brain break after this. I see some people celebrating there for a brain break. Woohoo! Okay, go try these 3 for me and then we're going to have a brain break. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad it's easier now. Good. Well done, guys. Well done. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 more minutes. Amishle, yes, you can answer number 4, sure. So Amishle is already asking, can she answer number 4? No problem. I'm going to put hands down so long so that I can see. Azande, can you do number 5? Sure, even though your sound's not working. How about you can send me the answer in the chat, maybe. Send me a private message. and do the steps for me, and then I'll go through it with you, everybody on the board. So how about that? That might work nicely. All right. And then I think maybe Intadile, you had your hand up first on my screen for number 6. And let's say you can do number 6. Okay, let's get going. Let's get going so we get time for our brain break as well. Okay, let's start with number 4. So, Amishle, you were doing number 4 with us. Let's go. Amishle, number 4. Talk to me.
So ma'am, the negative and the positive are going to cancel out, and
Good.
it's going to be a negative.
Well done.
So then it will be 22 minus 10,
Good.
which is equal to 12.
Well done. Nice. Well done. Awesome. Thank you so much, Amishle. All right. Then, Miss Azande, you were going to do 10.5 for me. So are you going to send it to me in the chat? Are you ready yet? Or can I ask Itandile to do number 10.6 with me in the meantime? I think I'm going to go to Itandile while I wait for Azande to send me 10.5, guys. Okay. Itandile, 10.6, you ready?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay, talk to me.
Ma'am, when you said on our notes that the positive with the negative, when you times that, it will be equal to a negative. So I
Well
wrote positive 13 minus 15, which is
Well
negative
done.
2.
Which is -2. You are amazing. Well done. And you could use your
Thank you, ma'am.
calculator to get that. Or you could have rearranged it. You could have said -15 plus 13, hey, which gives you -2. Well done.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. And then, Azande.
Ma'am?
Are you ready? Azande, your sound working.
Yes, ma'am, I got
Oh,
help.
amazing. Let's go. 10.5.
I would say the negative times the positive equals a negative.
Well done. Good.
So
So
it would be negative 16 minus 9, which is negative 25.
Oh, amazing, because this is a difficult one. So -16 minus another 9 gives you -25. Good. So you could have either used your calculator for that, hey?
Yeah.
Or you could have said to yourself, okay, they're both negative numbers, hey? So you could have put your negative and then said 16 plus 9 gives you 25, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
Well done. Amazing. Thank you so much, Asante. I'm glad you got your sound working. Amazing.
You too, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, guys, tonight's brain break is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to show you how I've done it, and we're going to see if it's going to work. Let's see if it works. Let's see how it goes, okay? This is how it looks. So, you can see on your screen there is a QR code. So you can either scan that with your phone. If you don't have your phone, if you're using your phone to actually do tonight's lesson, I'm going to put a link for you in the chat, and you can click on the link instead. And that will take you to a site called Mentimeter. So either you're going to scan the code or scan the QR code that's on your screen. If you're using a laptop or you're using another device, you can scan that using your phone. Or in the chat, there's a link that'll take you to a website called Mentimeter. All right. So this is our brain break for tonight. There are 2 questions for us. We're going to find out a little bit about our class tonight. So far, 5 people have asked the first question. The first question says, what province are you joining from? And what I'm going to do is, hopefully you've all seen that link. I'm going to go and I'm actually going to put on the screen for you what we're seeing, so you can see how cool it is. So there we go. That's what it looks like so far. So it looks like loads of people are joining us from Gauteng, a few people from the Eastern Cape. Okay. Only 13 people have answered so far. So lots of people from Gauteng. There's 23 people on our call tonight, or 22. 13 people have answered so far. What's the code, Uma? I will get a code. So it's there on the top there. So if you go to Mentimeter's website, you can also go and you can join with this code, Uma. I'm going to put the code in there as well. If you're on Mentimeter's website, it's 3612093, or you can just click on the website as well, Uma, that I put inside the top here, the link. I'm going to put it again. There we go. Oh, another 3 from KZN. Oh, 1 from Western Cape representing. I should actually go vote as well because I'm also from KZN, from Western Cape. Okay. Please go back, ma'am. Do you want to have a look at the QR code? All right, let's go have a look at the QR code quickly for some people. There we go. There's the QR code for you. All right, there's the QR code if you need it. All right, I'm giving you 1 more minute and then I'm going to change the question. You're revealing where you live, the police is going to find you. No, it's a very general place where you live, as long as you don't give us your address. All right. Awesome, guys. Look at that. Gauteng representing. My goodness. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. In KZN, it's hot. Okay, all right. Our next question says, what's the name of your school? So tell us what schools you guys are from. Okay, I don't want to know what your names are or what where you live, no, but what's the name of your schools? What kind of schools are you guys at? Tell us what names of your schools are here? Caro, Teneo, some people are at Teneo, that's cool. Fourways, Abbott's College. Awesome, guys. Cambridge High School, Ramberg. Look at that. Awesome. I definitely think we have a lot of people from Gauteng representing here, hey? Nice, guys. Randburg Park. Cambridge High School, that's cool. Centurion Secondary. Yo. Awesome. Southdown College representing. We've got more than one person from Southdown. That's cool. Nice, guys. Awesome. So let's have a look at our results. So if we look at our first one, definitely Gauteng represented here properly. Lots and lots of people from Gauteng. Hey, wow. Amazing, guys. So many of you from Joburg. All right. And if we look at all our schools, my goodness, a whole lot of different schools represented here. Wow, guys, a whole lot of different places. That's so cool. So you're in a class where there's so many different schools. How cool is that? And you're all learning a very similar thing in maths. And so I really hope you can see that it's not just you who might find maths challenging. There's lots of different people who find maths challenging as well. Okay, but you're all in it together, which is really cool as well. Okay. All right. Now, if anyone wants to do similar quizzes to this, it's called Mentimeter. It's a really cool website. You can use it in class. You can use it for your projects. It's a really cool place where you can come to. You can put word clouds together, and we're going to be using some of those for our brain breaks in the future. It's really cool. Can we do one more? Okay, how about this? We're going to do, Lorena, no one's going to come find you. We're going to do one more section of maths, and then we'll do one more brain break. Okay, so let's do 10 more minutes of maths. We'll do one more brain break, and then we're going to finish off our lesson tonight. All right, I'm glad you guys really enjoyed the brain break. I like to see that. Okay, ma'am, can I download the app? Lejo, I'm not sure if you can download the app, but I know that you can definitely go on the website and you can use it. All right, so as a reminder, guys, of what we did earlier on, we spoke about a positive integer, so the fancy word, times by a negative integer gives you a negative integer, okay? A negative integer times by a positive integer gives you a negative integer. So this is just what I did just now, Ritha. Some words now. Okay, Mateo, I'm sorry I'm glitching. Guys, can anyone else confirm if I'm glitching as well, or are we all good? Let me know in the chat if we're all good, okay? A positive integer times a positive integer gives you a positive integer, and a negative integer times a negative integer gives you a positive integer. So exactly what I showed you just now when I wrote it out, okay? This is just in the words. So some people like to see it as a visual representation with color. Some people like to see it in words. If you prefer to learn this way, here it is for you in this way as well. Okay. So earlier on at the beginning of the lesson, Emihle was asking me about, ma'am, what about timesing and dividing? We're going to have a look now at what happens when you're multiplying and dividing with integers. All right. So for my first two examples here, I've got a positive 5 times by positive 5. Well, we know a positive times by a positive gives you a positive, hey? So when I do these, I always say to myself, I always look at the sign first, and then I look at the numbers. So I've got a positive and a positive. I know I'm going to be left with a positive. Then I look at the numbers. 5 times 10 gives me 15. Let's look at number 2. We're looking at the signs first, so always doing it in steps, guys. A positive times a negative gives me a negative, and 5 times by 10 again gives me 50. All right. Let's do 2 more together, and then I'm going to give you some to try by yourself. So remember, steps, hey? Steps, all the way. So a negative times a positive gives me a negative. 5 times by 10 gives me 50. And finally, a negative times a negative, because when we do this, we do it in steps, and we always start with the signs. So negative times a negative gives me a positive, and 5 times by 10 gives me 50. Okay. Right. Now I want you guys to go and try it. Remember the steps. Signs first, and then the numbers. So signs first, then the numbers, okay? Right, I'm putting 4 on the screen for you to go and try. Okay, 4 on the screen for you guys to go and try. Go give it a go. 4 on the screen to go try. Go and give it a go. Right? Go and have a look at that for me. I just want to drag across our, oh dear, it's gone. Okay, go give that a go, guys. Oh dear, there it is. Apologies. Drag that back here for you, and let's bring your lesson back. There we go. Okay, so there's 4 on the screen for you. Go give it a go. All right, you got this. Hey, it's Ndile. We will start next week. We're doing a little bit more integers, and then we're going to start ratio and rates after that. Yay. All right, I'm seeing loads of people finished. So let's go. Let's go with Tandile. Hi, Tandile.
Hi, ma'am.
Right, talk to me. 2.2.5. What did you do?
Ma'am, I said a negative times a negative is a positive. So on my calculator, I said 25 times 4, which gave me positive 100.
Well done. Nice. Okay, so you did the signs first and then the numbers. Well done, Tandile. Okay. Oh, I've got a new name up here. Lufano. Hi, Lufano.
Hello, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. Have I pronounced your name correctly?
It's Lufuno.
Lufuno. Okay.
Yes.
Lufuno, do you want to do number 6 with me?
Yes.
Okay, talk to me.
A negative times by a positive gives you a negative,
Well done.
and 25 times 4 is 100. So
Nice.
negative.
Amazing. Well done. Thank you so much.
Ma'am.
Okay, I always like to see new people's names up, guys. That's amazing. Cool. All right, let's go with my number 7. Let's go. Amishle. Hi, Amishle.
Hi, ma'am.
Okay, Amishle, let's go.
So, ma'am, so positive times a negative is a negative.
Well done.
25 times 4 is 100. So my answer was negative 100.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, and Azande. Hi, Azande.
Hi, ma'am.
Okay, let's go.
For 2.2.8, I said a positive times a positive equals a positive.
Nice.
So 25 times 4 would be 100.
Nice. Now, Azande, while you're here, talk to me. Would it be wrong if I wrote the positive sign?
It wouldn't be wrong, ma'am, just unnecessary.
Thank you. It wouldn't be wrong. It's just unnecessary. Good. So some teachers are like, oh my goodness, if you put the positive sign, the teacher's going to mark it wrong. Nah, it wouldn't be wrong. Not mathematically wrong. Hey, you're right. It should just be unnecessary. Well done. Thanks,
Thank you,
Azande.
ma'am.
Okay, I think we've got the hang of this. Let us move on to one more small brain break before we do some division. Okay, so we're going to do one more small brain break before we do some division. Okay, so the brain break we're going to do, I'm going to put the QR code again for you in case you're using your phones. So let me get that up for you on the screen. If it lets me, let's see what we can do here. Oh, there we go. All right, so if you're using the QR code, there it is up on the screen for you guys. If you're using the link, let's get the link for you. Okay, I'm going to put the link for you in the chat. All right, so last brain break for tonight. And the question is, using one word, how was today's lesson? Now you can be completely honest. Using one word, how did you find today's lesson? So if you found it super easy, say that you found it super easy. If you found it really useful, say that you found it really useful. If you were bored, you can say that you were bored. If it was insightful, say that it was insightful. But go ahead, whatever word you want to use, you can use that word, guys. Go ahead. I'm giving you a few minutes, and then we're going to move on to division. Okay. We're going to move on to division. All right. I'm going to share the screen with you so you can see what everybody's saying. Ah, look at that. My goodness. Amazing, interesting, awesome. Oh, I like to hear that. Fun. Nice, guys. Very useful, useful. Okay. Who used the word okay? Guys, come on. Useful. Good. Great. Amazing. Helpful. Oh, I like it, guys. Usefully. Cool. Understanding. All right. Awesome. Okay. I am going to share all our well, I'm going to share our slide that we did on which provinces we all come from. I'm going to share that one, not the one with all the schools, but the province one. And I'm going to share our word cloud for tonight. I'm going to put that on our classroom for you guys so you can have a look at the ones that we did tonight. I'm not going to share the one with all the schools you're going to, I promise, so that you can see them on classroom. So make sure that you have got classroom, that you've joined the classroom. Also, because remember that our quiz will be on classroom as well tonight, guys. So in 3 minutes time, your quiz goes live on classroom and you can go and complete the quiz on classroom as well tonight. All right, well done, everybody. I'm glad that you enjoyed the brain breaks tonight. Hopefully we'll be able to do some more in the future. Okay, let's finish off with our lesson for tonight. So we've done some multiplication. Let's move on to some division now. So in the same way that we had multiplication, we're going to look at division now, all right? If two integers with the same sign are divided, then the results will be a positive number. If two integers with different signs are divided, the results will be a negative number. So the exact same thing as multiplying, it's just dividing. So there it is again for you, drawn out really nicely, okay? Except it doesn't have color. It's not as nice as the way I drew it out the first time, but there it is for you again. So if you want to take a screenshot, there you go. Okay, there you go. All right. Great. Okay, it's Andile. We're not going to do that anymore. We're going to do well now because you've got this. We've got this. Okay. All right, so it's exactly the same as multiplying. Now we're just going to divide. All right, so let's have a look together at the first three together, and then I'm going to let you practice some. Let's go have a look. Okay. All right, so I've got positive 88 divided by positive 11. It's exactly the same, guys. Sign first, then number. So if I've got a positive divided by a positive, what am I going to do? Well, a positive divided by a positive gives me a positive, and 88 divided by 11 will leave me with 8. Okay. All right, next one. Signs, then numbers. A negative divided by a negative, exactly the same as when we multiply. So a negative divided by a negative, okay, gives me a positive because the signs are the same. And 88 divided by 11 is going to give me 8. And finally, a positive divided by a negative. So a positive divided by a negative gives me a negative. And 88 divided by 11 gives me 8. Right, signs, then numbers. Step, step, step for maths. Okay, you're going to hear me saying that lots this year. All right. I want you guys to go and practice the negative integers. So I want you guys to go and practice the negative integers. Oh, grade 8s, I love this class. You guys are so good to each other. That's right. We're going to be positive. I like it. There's always room for change. I love it. We got this. All right. Lorena, do you have a question or did you want to answer some for me? I think Lorena was looking to answer some. Am I right?
Oh, wait, no. I just want to ask a question.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can we remove when we divide, or when we divide, we can just remove the symbols. Can we just remove the symbols, divide, and then add the symbols with sorry, ma'am.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
Then put back the symbols depending on the symbols in that divided with each other.
So this is what I always say, Lorena. I always say exactly the same as when we were doing multiplication, all right? We did it in steps, okay? Remember when we were doing the steps? First, we did the sign, and then we did the number, hey? Remember? So if we do the signs first, I've got, let's take like number 2, because number 1 was easy. Let's do the signs. So we say a negative divided by a negative gives me a positive. Signs done. 88 divided by 11 gives me 8. Numbers done. Let's do number 3. First, you do the signs. A positive divided by a negative, I go and I write down a negative. Next step, 88 divided by 11 gives me 8, and I write down 8. Does that make sense? So I'm doing it in steps, hey?
And I also have another question.
Sure.
Is it possible for when you divide, gives you a negative? No, like when you divide two numbers, gives you a negative.
Of course it is. Have a look at number 3. Number 3 was a negative, eh?
Without using the symbols.
Without using the symbols. You have to use the symbols.
Okay, ma'am.
Always. Same as so dividing, remember dividing is just the opposite of multiplying, hey? So it's exactly the same thing. You're just doing the opposites. So you have to have symbols. Because I always say in class, I always say the symbols of a number, like those signs, those symbols, it's like having clothes on a number. So a number always has to have symbols. It has to have a positive and it has to have a negative. Otherwise, it's like almost like your number's naked. It's like walking around naked. You don't walk around naked. You always got to have clothes on, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so either your number is positive or your number is negative. So it's got to have clothes on.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Lorena. All right. Okay. All right, guys, I want to go and I want to do these ones very quickly with you because I want to get to if you have any questions for homework. Like I know that there was 1 or 2 there in the chat. So let's have a look at these ones. Okay. So I've got a negative and I'm dividing by a positive. Negative divided by a positive gives me a negative. 88 divided by 11 gives me 8. All right. My next one, I've got a positive divided by a positive. I get a positive. Okay. And 125 divided by 25 is going to give me 5. Again, I'm doing it in steps. So a positive divided by a negative gives me a negative. 125 divided by 25 gives me 5. Can you see how I always do it in steps, everybody? A negative divided by a positive. Negative divided by a positive gives me a negative. 125 divided by 25 gives me 5. A negative divided by a negative gives me a positive. 125 divided by 25 gives me 5. And the last one I ask you to try by yourself, a positive divided by a negative gives you a negative. And somebody tell me, I don't have my calculator on me and it's been a long day. 256 divided by 16. What did you get? What's 256 divided by 16? 16. Is it really 16? My goodness. Okay. I'm trusting you. 16. Well done, guys. Well done, everybody. Okay. We have 5 minutes left for the lesson. If you have any questions that you want to ask me that maybe you got for homework this week, or I know somebody asked me, ma'am, when are we doing ratio and rates? Guys, we're going to get to ratio and rates. It's our next topic. So next week, we're going to look at a little bit more on integers and finish integers off, and then ratio and rates is next. So if there's anybody who's got some questions that they had for homework and they want to check in with me, and ma'am, is this the right thing I'm doing? This is the question I got. I'm not 100% sure. I'm here. Let's hear it. We've got some time left over. Right. Azande. Hi, Azande.
Hi, ma'am.
Talk to me.
Ma'am, I'm asking for the last question, 7.9.
7.9. Yeah, talk to me.
How is it a positive 16? Because
It's a negative. There's the
divided by
sign
a
there.
negative. So is it not negative 16?
It is negative. It says negative 16.
Oh,
Did
okay.
I say positive? I definitely said negative. Maybe I made a mistake, but I wrote it there, negative 16.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Sorry, Azande. Thank you. Thank you for checking, but it's definitely negative 16. Yes, you are right.
Thank you, ma'am.
You
Okay,
are
thank you,
welcome.
ma'am.
No problem. Go do the quiz.
Okay, bye, ma'am.
Thanks. Bye. Right. Lejo. Hi, Lejo.
Hi, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
Good and you.
I'm good, ma'am. Oh, ma'am, did you load the quiz? Because I remember last week I struggled to get in.
Oh, it's definitely loaded, Lejo. It's definitely there. Some people have already done the quiz. It
Oh,
says
okay,
it's
ma'am.
called Q2 Integers Week 1 Review. It's definitely there. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks, ma'am.
You're
Bye, ma'am.
welcome. All right. Anyone else? Amishle, where's that homework question you wanted to do? Amishle. Oh, she's gone to go fetch it. Okay. Nkuli in the meantime. Hi, Nkuli.
Hi, ma'am.
What's up, my love?
So my screen was a little bit of a deckering, so
Oh, no.
I didn't see most of the stuff. So now I'm busy standing here like I'm so confused.
Okay, so do you know that there's a solution for that? Because do you know that all our lessons are recorded and you can go back and you can watch this whole lesson again? It's going to be on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So if you go to YouTube and you look up MathsLive, obviously it won't be on tonight, but like maybe tomorrow, maybe Saturday morning, you'll be able to find the whole lesson. You can rewatch the whole thing. You can pause me, you can rewind me. Obviously, you can't ask me questions. That's the thing that's it's a bit of a because you can't answer and ask questions, but you can go watch the whole lesson again.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks, Julie. Bye.
Hi.
All right, Amishle, bring that question. Let's go.
So, ma'am, the question says, so in brackets, it's -5 plus 3. And then the close brackets. And then it says times negative, and then brackets -2.
Times -2, like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when I have BODMAS, what does BODMAS tell me I must do first?
You first work out what's in the bracket, ma'am.
Good. I always work out what's in the brackets first. Right. So in this bracket, I've got -5 plus 3. So what's -5 plus 3?
-5 plus 3 is -2, ma'am.
Well done. So -2 times by, do I need to do anything in this bracket?
No, ma'am.
-2 equals. Now, what have I got? Now I've got -2 times -2, hey?
Yes.
And didn't we just do this? We just did it, hey? We said negative times a negative gives you a positive. Good. And 2 times 2?
Is 4.
Is 4. Bam, done. BODMAS.
yeah. There's another one, ma'am.
That's fun. Give it to me. Okay.
So it's -30 divided by 6.
Divided by 6.
And then minus. And then in brackets it says -5.
-5, like that.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go. We're gonna BODMAS it, hey? You ready? All right. BODMAS tells me, what must I always do? Brackets first, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything happening inside of this bracket?
No, ma'am.
Nothing happening inside of the brackets. Okay, so we good. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Then it says orders, which we know is of, which means exponents. Any exponents?
No, ma'am.
Nah. Then BODMAS tells me I must do
Division.
division. Okay, so I can go do the division so long, hey? I've got -30 divided by 6. -30, a negative divided by a positive?
Is a negative.
A negative, good. 30 divided by 6?
5. 5.
5, good. And I'm left with minus 5. All right. Now I've got what? I've got a negative sign next to a negative sign. So what do I know I need to do?
Draw a circle, can cross it out, and put a positive, a plus.
Well done. Nice. So I've got negative 5. And look, it's additive, inverse, so fancy, hey? Okay, so negative 5 plus 5 is going to give me
0.
0. Well done. Step, step, step. And it doesn't matter if you show 6 steps and the person sitting next to you shows 2 steps. You're going to get the same marks. Okay, you've just done it nice and slowly, which means that you understand what's going on.